This is Steve Segura for ECTV, and joining me today is Lisa Doherty from the United Way. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Tell us a little bit about tell us about yourself first, and then we'll go into what the program or the program you're trying to highlight is.
Okay, just a little bit about me. I'm from the region. I grew up actually in Griffith. Graduated from Griffith. It was Purdue Cal. At the time, graduated there with a bachelor's and master's. Worked at the Times Media Company almost my entire career.
Wow.
For many, many years. It was a great opportunity for me. But I kind of felt a bit of a yearning to do something a little different the second part of my career. So I got into the nonprofit world over at Tradewinds as their marketing director there. And then when the United Way job opened up, the job description, it seemed like it was written for me. So I ended up back in Griffith, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. We have been transforming this organization from one that was pretty strictly a fundraising organization. We mobilized donors and distributed the money. And now we are a problem-solving organization, and we are very focused on helping families thrive.
Well, that's awesome. And you guys are located right there on Ridge Road?
Yes, right on Ridge Road. Everybody knows where the Dairy Queen is. We are right next to Dairy Queen on Ridge Road.
I definitely know where the Dairy Queen's at.
Yeah, I get that response every time.
I really miss the brazier, not every Dairy Queen is a brazier,
Yeah, right.
And there's no Dairy Queen burger like a Dairy Queen burger.
No, it's so busy all day, every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My kids definitely do love it. But now it's my understanding you guys have some money to give away to needy families or people look for childcare and a couple other things. Tell us a little bit about what your program is.
Sure. So I mentioned to you that we're very focused on helping families thrive. We are very much focused on helping working families who are in important jobs, to our economy, but they're not necessarily paying a livable wage. So we have some folks who are kind of struggling. And sometimes they have to choose between putting food on the table and paying rent or utilities. COVID has hit that population of families the hardest. Those are the folks who many lost jobs, were furloughed, or in some cases, with schools, not in session, as they were pre-COVID, they need some assistance. If they want to keep working, they've got to have a childcare solution. They need some sort of backup care. So, helping families thrive, there are two areas of emphasis for us. One of the ways that we do that is help them get connected to better paying jobs through our LevelUp program. But what you're specifically talking about is our emphasis on childcare. We want to help families access quality childcare. So today we have a significant amount of money that is dedicated to East Chicago families who are working in healthcare or any other first, responder role, and or families who are attending higher education. So maybe they're going to Ivy Tech or Purdue Northwest or IUN. And again, to get to work, to get to school, they may need some other alternative childcare, whether that's through a early learning provider like Lisa's Safe Haven, or the YMCA or the Boys and Girls Club, because they're offering that e-learning support, we will issue grants to families that are, in that income bracket. Generally, it's about 200% considered generally 200% of the poverty level, and we will pay for that childcare tuition.
I'm going to show the flyer while you kind of talk about what these programs are real quick.
You bet.
So there you have the flyer, everyone. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. There you go. So tell us about a little bit about this part right here, the Resource Roundup. What is that?
Sure. So Resource Roundup is an online directory. If you go to www.resourceroundup.com, you see the URL right there in red, you can get connected. It's a searchable database. There's about 400 different agencies that are on this website, and it's very user-friendly. You can search it in Spanish as well. If you go to the bottom of the site, you can see where you can change the language. Sorry, NIPSCO's next door. I hope that's not creating some noise for you. This website has been absolutely invaluable during COVID because a lot of these families aren't used to searching for assistance, so they don't even know what's out there. Great, great tool to get connected. And of course, you can always contact Lake Erie United Way, and we can help any family in search of assistance get connected. We fund a number of those agencies that are on that site.
That's awesome. And we'll move on. Oh, again, you touched on this LevelUp program. What is that now? That's for jobs, correct? Yes.
So when we were deciding what our target population needed to be, and what areas were creating barriers for families, one of the things we heard from families, because we went in and we talked to families before we decided where we were going to focus. What we heard from them was that they didn't know where all of the opportunities were, both for upskilling. A lot of times there's free tuition that families don't know about, and or they're not networked, so they don't know what companies are hiring. And so we invested in a family career navigator. There's a gal on the team, her name's Talisa. She's actually from East Chicago. She grew up there, so she knows a lot of folks there. But she helps them kind of navigate the landscape, we say. She talks to them about what their career goals are. Maybe there's some certification education that's short-term that they can connect to. And what we're doing is we're helping people get connected to different financial resources while they're going to a short-term certification program. And she's helping them get connected to those employers who are looking for people. What we know about families is that they're hardworking, they're resilient. Our LevelUp participants are the folks that employers want to hire.
Now, I have a quick question. Now, what if you can't get online and, some people don't have this internet access or can't even get to the location out in Griffith? How are you reaching those people?
Yeah, so the beauty of this program, it was intended to reach families where they are. So Talisa, and we have another part-time navigator who works in the evenings and on Saturdays. She's also bilingual. So the two of them together, they coordinate their schedules to meet families where it's convenient. So maybe it's at their employer, maybe it's at the library. Talisa has gone to different apartment complexes, to talk to people about these programs. We're partnering with Strachan Van Til and St. Catherine Hospital right now to, go in and help their employees get connected to different types of financial resources, home ownership classes. There are different savings programs that are available that help people save for that first down payment on a home. And sometimes there are matching programs like through the state where for every dollar that they save, the state matches $3.
Oh, wow.
And people just don't know about these programs, but our navigators do. Debt consolidation, budgeting, we've helped people improve credit scores. It's really been an amazing experience.
Wow. And that could also help them tie in with our program here in the city. Mayor Anthony Copeland has initiated a kind of a grant. You attend a workshop, a homeowners incentive. They give you up to $25,000 if you're an employee.
Yes.
For a new home, $10,000. For a used home, up to $15,000 if you're an employee. So you get an extra $5,000 if you're a city employee. But anyone can qualify for this grant that the city gives out to become a homeowner in East Chicago. So that would, tie in very nicely with your program as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we want to do. I mean, Talisa, we're not providing every bit of, assistance or coaching, but we're getting folks connected to all the different partners that we have in the community.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's go over to the child care thing again. I know a friend of mine who is both parents are working. One is in legal and the other one is a hardworking blue collar young man. And they were struggling to try to figure out how to get their kids in school while they're both trying to work. It's been a real challenge for many families.
Yes, no doubt. And honestly, I think that COVID is like a springboard for us, into the community, because this issue isn't new for families. COVID has just kind of amplified the need. So we're excited about offering this assistance. So Steve, in both cases, whether it be, the LevelUp jobs program or ChildCare, of course, you can go to these specific URL addresses on our website. But what I want to do is give you the names of our and contact information for our navigators.
That's great.
So if you've got somebody in East Chicago who is struggling that way, needs that backup or alternative childcare, have them contact us, because they may be eligible for these grants. Specifically, if they're a healthcare worker, first responder, if they're part of our jobs program, and or they're going to higher ed. So the child care, the out-of-school care navigator, her name is Jessica, and she can be reached at 708-539-3570. 708-539-3570. The navigators know. They're available via text, or you can call the cell. The other name that I want to give you on the jobs program is Talisa, and her mobile phone is 708-337-3246. That's 708-337-3246. And again, we know that we've got to meet families where they are. So we do everything that we can to remove every barrier that may be out there.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you guys, I've heard of the United Way. They've been in the community for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But, these programs right here are awesome.
Yes.
They're just what families need right now during these tough times. And I'm glad you guys are offering these programs. Now, where's the funding for these programs come from?
So three different ways, really, primarily. Number one, through our workplace campaign. So a lot of the employers in the community are helping. This is the traditional United Way model, right? A lot of employers, school systems, et cetera, are helping us to raise money through that payroll deduction. We call those campaign dollars. We also pursue grants. So the specific child care monies that we have available right now to East Chicago residents Those were funded by the Foundations of East Chicago. They like our program, and they invested in that. NIPSCO is another organization that invested in the ChildCare. They're, focusing on East Chicago, Hammond, and Gary. And then the other thing that we do is, through like corporate sponsorships, et cetera. So a variety of ways. And, the new work of United Way is getting people really excited about it. So we're actually heading into campaign this month.
Well, that's great. That's great. I remember back in the day, East Chicago used to have a representative that worked with the United Way. Do they still do that, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we used to call them loaned executives.
Right.
So we changed it up a little bit, because now that kind of scares people. I mean, they remember what that big commitment was, right? And some people are afraid of fundraising. But you know what? This work that we're doing, when we tell people about it, at the end of that, they want to know how they can help. So it's easy now to get people engaged. But yeah, we call them ambassadors.
Correct.
Yes. So yes, we're always looking for ambassadors to help us get the word out.
That's great. And as a matter of fact, my friend Tony Cerna, who's our fire chief, was like, hey, make sure you contact Lisa and get some information. I says, they have a great program. I'm like, yes, I've been forwarded the flyer by someone else, and we have promoted it on our Facebook page. But it's always great to have a discussion, because sometimes there's some questions that, I may come up, and hopefully people will tune in to this and then just start asking some questions on our comments. And then, if you guys follow our ECTV page as well, I'll try to direct them your way as much as possible. Now, in general, what's the number to contact over at the United Way?
So, you know what? I'm just going to give everybody my cell number. Because of COVID, we're working remotely, so I don't want somebody to get hung up in, voicemail. So here's my cell. It's 219-712-3601.
All right. Well, there you have it, everyone. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us today. Great programs, and we look forward to some success stories. I want to see them. I don't know if you can give us any, but we'll do a follow-up, and maybe we can interview a family or something that participates.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
And see what this is, where this leads to,
Yep. And Steve, I'll send you some links. We've got some cool stories from a couple different families.
Yeah.
So I'll share that with you. Thanks for helping us get the word out.
No problem. Just give me a photo with a little story about what happened. Even that's great, because sometimes people get scared of cameras and they don't want to be.
Yep. I get it.
But it's wonderful. Thank you for, joining us today, and just send us info. We're more than happy to share these great programs with East Chicago residents, like I said. And what else? If you want to leave them with anything else before we go?
No, just thanks for the opportunity. And, again, we're intended to be a resource in the community. So if somebody is looking for something and they can't find, we're eager to give a helping hand.
Thank you, Lisa. You guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Steve. You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks to your generous support, Lake Area United Way has been here for working families across Northwest Indiana for almost 50 years. Lake Area United Way builds nonprofit capacity to serve more.
Lake Area United Way and their leadership under Lisa Doherty have been fantastic partners. They have been responsive in terms of looking for new ways that we can partner multiple nonprofit organizations.
We have a jobs group, and it's people from the community, different businesses, different nonprofits, and they tell us about the resources available at their agency or at partner agencies.
Right now, with hundreds of thousands out of work, more families than ever need a place to turn for help.
40% of our clients are new to the food bank, so they've never used emergency food supports in the past.
When COVID-19 first happened, I really didn't know how I was going to pay my rent. But when I was able to call my case manager, she literally gave me a list of resources.
Lake Area United Way announced the COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund. Your gifts enable us to give grants to partners impacted by the pandemic.
In May of 2020, we put out over 900,000 pounds of product. We started to see a decrease in our volunteers. They also funded us with some temporary positions so that we had staff to pick up some of this increased load that we experienced.
Lake Area United Way helps families meet basic needs in a time of crisis. With your help, furloughed and laid-off employees across the region are getting the support they need to pay their bills during the economic downturn.
When, we found out we were going to be closing, we didn't know how we were going to be paid. We knew this was going to last longer than 2 weeks.
My concerns were the safety of everybody, job, my family, finances.
And I applied for assistance with my rent because we still hadn't gotten unemployment or stimulus checks or anything like that.
The assistance allowed me to pay my mortgage, and I also got assistance with NIPSCO.
It was a huge relief.
We're leveraging technology through initiatives like our innovative Resource Roundup, a searchable online database that connects Northwest Indiana families to the specific services they need, everything from medical care to mortgage assistance. Lake Area United Way invests in our future through quality childcare. As schools and daycare centers closed in response to the pandemic, Lake Area United Way partnered with the YMCA to provide care for the children of first responders and healthcare workers in our area. But emergency assistance can only go so far. That's why, with your help, we are giving struggling working families the tools they need to build a stable future.
Our program is called the LevelUp program. It's a pilot program. I am so proud of the folks who have taken a chance because they have to share their story with me in order for them to be successful. I have a guy, him and his family came to us initially because he had student loan debt, found that his passion was teaching special needs kids. He had too much student loan debt and couldn't go back to school to get the certification. So he came and realized he qualified for a reduction. He went from $91,000 in debt to $41,000 in debt. His favorite thing to tell me is, I don't think I qualify for that. I said, let them determine if you're part of the program or not. This is the hardest working group of folks you ever gonna meet. They're not people who want you to assist them, but I have to convince them that they're also part of that group that can get help too.
6 months or so back, I lost my husband, so I was looking for a home for me and my kids.
Lake Area United Way provides emotional support during a time of crisis.
Talisa just been really wonderful with me. She's told me, just hang in there. She's been so helpful, and I am so thankful and grateful for her.
Lake Area United Way helps make dreams a reality.
I have a loan officer. I get my approval letter in another 2 weeks, and I can go and look for my home.
It's our goal before they leave us for them to be thriving, to help them see the future, and just teaching them to take a chance on themselves and to dream past today.
Lake Area United Way connects families to needed resources.
She's actually working with my daughter too.
I'm not just connected to the adults, because you have teenagers also who are going to go into the work field, and our goal is to not have them have the hardships that their family has.
Your generous support through donations, through volunteering, through advocating on behalf of others, has enabled Lake Area United Way to help our communities through trying times. Today, our region faces a challenge unlike any in our history. We need helpers like you.
I want to thank Lake Area United Way from the bottom of my heart, from my family to all of you. Thank you guys so much.
These are unprecedented times, but we will get through them together. That is what it means to live united.